sacred space where divine wisdom finds its way to you. Take a deep, cleansing breath, dear one, and close your eyes for a moment. What transpired recently wasn't just everyday drama or a simple conflict. It was a divine breakthrough, a seismic shift in the spiritual landscape that you might not have even known was unfolding. While you were focused on your own journey, your own healing, something incredibly intense was erupting in a space just beyond your physical sight. It was a sacred space where your name was spoken with undeniable power and a truth so profound it could no longer be contained. A truth, once buried deep, finally exploded into the open. This happened because the third party in the situation finally lost control. They were not expecting your person to say it. Not right in front of them, not with that degree of absolute certainty. But they did. Your person looked them directly in the eyes and said, "It's always been them. They are the 100%. And in that single, universe-altering moment, everything broke. All the pretending, all the heavy silence, and all the exhausting games came crashing down. And now, absolutely nothing will ever be the same again. The angels are whispering that this was not just a fight. It was a soul-shaking realization for everyone involved. It was a divine interruption designed specifically to push destiny back onto its rightful track. The other party thought they were winning. They truly believed that by now, your memory would have been erased from your person's mind, that whatever deep feelings were once held for you had long since turned to ashes. But the events of the other day changed the entire timeline. The moment your name was mentioned, your person's entire energy shifted. It was palpable. Something inside of them snapped, or perhaps it finally truly woke up. The third party, who had been clinging so tightly to a sense of control, was suddenly forced to see what they had been desperately trying to ignore for far too long. Your person doesn't love them. They never truly did. And when your person defended you, not just with simple words, but with the way their entire spirit rose to stand up for your truth, it shattered the fragile illusion they were living in. That argument was never just about you. It was about truth itself, and truth simply does not back down when it is spoken from the soul. The third party could sense it, not just in what was said, but in everything that didn't have to be. Your person's silence spoke volumes. Their eyes were looking into a history of memories that the other party could never hope to understand. The third party accused, they yelled, they reminded your person of everything they had done for them. But none of it mattered because all your person could think about in that moment was you. The way you made them feel truly seen. The way you never begged for their love but instead offered yours with a purity and patience that now seems otherworldly. And that's when they said it. You don't get it. They're not just someone from my past. They're the only one who ever really saw me. And I'll never stop feeling that connection. The third party's heart broke, but it was your person's undeniable truth. And sometimes truth is the most painful and most liberating weapon of all. Maybe the universe needed the third party to hear those words, because until that moment, they believed you were just a phase, a mistake, a ghost that would eventually be forgotten. But when your person stood there defending your name like it was a sacred vow, the other party realized they could never compete with something so real. Your person told them, "What I felt for them wasn't temporary. It wasn't a game. And I know, deep down, I was the one who messed it all up. But no matter how far I go, I always feel their presence in my soul." That admission wasn't about guilt. It was about profound clarity. And when a soul speaks its clarity aloud, it has the power to change everything around it.in the days ahead. Your person is going to reflect even more deeply, not just on the fight, but on why their heart reacted with such fierce protection when your name came up. Because no one screams in defense of a memory unless that memory is still vibrantly alive in their heart. No one chooses conflict unless they're trying to defend something they hold sacred. And right now, you are still that sacred presence within them. The one they pretend to forget but never actually can. The one they walk away from but always circle back to emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. After that intense exchange, a heavy silence filled the room like smoke after a fire. The third party left the space not just physically but emotionally. Because when your person spoke those words, when they looked the other party dead in the eye and spoke your truth, it was more than a fight. It was a definitive breaking point. Something in their heart knew it could never be the same. They may have shouted and demanded, but what truly cut them the deepest was the way your person's voice softened when they said your name. That wasn't anger. That wasn't regret. That was reverence. They spoke of you like someone who still holds the key to something sacred deep within them. And for the very first time, the third party felt it in their bones. Your person never truly left you emotionally. Their body may have been present, but their heart was still there with you. Your person didn't defend you out of obligation. They did it because in that moment, something snapped them back to a state of profound clarity. They realized they've been living in an illusion, surrounded by noise, expectations, and endless distractions. But when your name was spoken, the fog lifted. Your memory brought them home to their soul, to the version of themselves they abandoned when they lost you. And the realization hit them hard. That your love was never ordinary. You never played games or used manipulation. You loved them purely, even during the times they couldn't love themselves. And now that purity is haunting them in a beautiful, heartbreaking way. That night, after the argument, your person sat alone. No TV, no phone, no music, just pure silence. And in that silence, they heard your laughter echoing in their memory. They remembered how you once said something about not forcing what's real. Suddenly, that phrase felt deeply prophetic because the connection they are forcing now, this routine, this performance, it's collapsing. And it's collapsing because the foundation was never real. You were the foundation. You were the one they built dreams with in their heart, even if those dreams were never spoken aloud. And now, those dreams are screaming to be heard once again. The third party knows this too. That's why they're restless. That's why they might be starting to look at your social media, to ask indirect questions, to feel that